Welcome to this week's Humble Review. I'll be taking a look at the most recent Humble Bundle and see if it really is worth a bundle. Let's start with the $1 pricing tier. The first game is Call of Juarez Gunslinger, which is a Western FPS. If you've played the rest of the series, it's pretty close. However, they changed the dueling, which was one of my favorite parts of the original game. The art style is quite nice. If you played Borderlands, it's similar to that. The cell shading is in effect here, and it looks quite good. It plays pretty well. Again, like I mentioned, it isn't like the original Call of Juarez in the dueling aspect, as well as the breaching aspect, which I know if you guys played before is a lot of fun. The original price is $15 on US and Canadian Steam, and this one is activated on Steam. Next game we have is Grow Home, which is a procedurally generated open world action adventure game. It looks kind of nice, a very minimalistic art style, but it is kind of cool in how it works. Anything that you see you can interact with, and pretty much anything in the sky you can reach. The objective is to get home with your starship and save your world. The original price for this game is $8 on US and $10 on Canadian, and the $1 tier seems pretty decent. It's just a nice Steam filler, however, it would be kind of worth it to take a look. So the last game we have in the $1 pricing tier is Rayman Origins. Many people should be familiar with the Rayman series, as it is a pretty classic series. It's a nice side-scrolling platformer with some little quirks, and the art style is pretty intact, just HD now. It's usually $20 on the Steam store, both Canadian and US, so at a dollar pricing tier, you're getting a pretty decent deal. Keep in mind this is activated on Uplay and not Steam, for those of you who use Big Picture mode. Now going into the Beat the Average tier, we have Far Cry 3, which is an open world FPS that is highly regarded for how much you can do and how much exploration there is. I'm not a big fan of the Far Cry series, unfortunately. I thought it was quite repetitive in what you do. You just go from bunker to bunker, killing a bunch of baddies, and it's mindless fun, but it gets a little boring in my opinion. The game is usually $30 on both the US and Canadian Steam stores. However, it's part of the Beat the Average, which should be around $8 at the time of this posting. Keep in mind that this is activated on Uplay and not Steam. The rest of the games will be activated on Uplay. If you've had a PS2 and Xbox, there's a good chance you've seen or played the Splinter Cell series. They've revamped it with Splinter Cell Blacklist, and it's a pretty decent game as part of this bundle. It's an FPS stealth/action game. Obviously, if you don't want to play completely stealth, you can play it as an action game. However, you're going to have some challenges when you're trying to do it that way. It's a great game. It's usually $30 on both the US and Canadian store. That's Steam, of course. This is on Uplay. Next game in the list is Assassin's Creed Chronicles China. It's actually a 2.5D side-scrolling platformer, which is not like the usual Assassin's Creed. However, there's a lot of essences of the original series that are in this game. You sneak around, go from shadow to shadow, killing your enemies, and it's kind of nice. It's a kind of nice concept. The art is absolutely beautiful, very reminiscent of the Chinese era. It's definitely a good game to get into, just to kill some time. If you like games in the past like Strata Hero, any of those platforms, it's a good game to go for. It's normally $10 on both the US and Canadian stores, and again, activated on Uplay. Now, there are more games to be announced for this bundle, which I will include in the description after they're released. However, at this time, I can't comment on games that haven't been posted yet, so stay tuned. So all you rich guys out there, now there's a $15 tier on this bundle. It starts with Assassin's Creed Rogue, which is effectively Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, with a different setting and a bit of different story. So a lot of the internals are the same, the engine's the same. Gameplay should be very similar, but of course the progression's a little different as the story changes. If you're an Assassin's Creed fan, this is nice to get into. Normally it's $30 on both the US and Canadian store. Again, I'm going to say this again, it's activated on Uplay, just so you guys know. So this game kind of makes the $15 tier worth it, in my opinion. The Crew is a racing game that's heavily multiplayer. The idea is that you and your friends or you and your partners take over trucks and perform heists, almost like Fast and Furious, I believe. I have had this in the back of my mind and I did want to pick it up. However, it was a little bit expensive. Usually it's $30 on both the US and Canadian store. But now part of the $15 tier with a bunch of other games, it's kind of worth it to get. Again, like always, it's activated on Uplay. If you thought we were done there, we're at the $75 tier for this bundle. Pretty much you're paying for The Division, a new MMO FPS by Ubisoft, which actually looks pretty good. Think of the mechanics of Borderlands except MMO style. As you progress through the game, you and your friends will move into this open world game, take over objectives, and move through the world, leveling up and upping your equipment. Normally the game is $59.99 on the Steam store, $79.99 for Canadians, but as part of this bundle you get it for $75 and a lot of other additions. Now this is a bit of a showstopper. You get a t-shirt. Ooh. So it's pretty much just a printed tee of the Division logo on it. It's supposed to be exclusive. Who knows how exclusive it will be. But pretend the shirt's about $15. It's a nice added addition. Last part of this bundle is a 66% off coupon for the Humble store. Now, if you like Ubisoft games or you're an Assassin's Creed fan or just getting into the series, you can pick up some of the old games for PC for 66% off. Think of it as $10 off per game, up to 3 games, so it's a $30 value. Kinda worth it. Thanks for watching today's episode. Let me know in the comments below what you thought about this week's Humble Bundle, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos just like this.